You were thinking about a movie about Jesus since the 60s.
Oh yes. Like around that time, when I realized the vocation wasn't for me, that it's about others and not myself, not your own salvation. I mean, yes, if you can, but it's about being with others. Once I realized that there was another passion that was in me, and that was for the moving image, pictures that moved. Stories, really, I should say, not just pictures, stories. And I had to go to pictures because in my family, my mother and father were working in the garment district in New York. They never read a book. So there were no books in the house. So I had to bring books in. I had to learn how to read. I had to learn how to live with the book. Meaning if a book was more than 200 pages, I had to learn the patience. And so I saw and I experienced everything through the street and the storytellers of the street, which are wonderful. The ones on the street corner, the tough guys telling stories with a great sense of humor about themselves, my mother's storytelling, my father's, my uncle's. I learned all that. And the only way I thought I could express it was through images, pictures, because that's how I grew up seeing art. That and the art in the church. And so for me, this quest to explore Jesus had to find its way to cinema. And so I had planned to make one in 16 millimeter black and white. This was 1961, I think, or so. And by that point, I was at Washington Square College, and I was beginning to take film courses, although this film school idea, they don't show you how to make a film. You can't learn that. It's really more about the master and the student. And we had a very good teacher named Haig Mannogian, who was Armenian-American, and he had a lot of passion for this sort of thing and for me. And so I followed his directions. He saw something in me. And at that time, I wanted to make the story of Jesus in modern day, in the Lower East Side, in the tenements and on the Bowery, culminating in the crucifixion on the New York City docks, with the West Side Highway, which is no longer there, And then I went to see Pasolini's Gospel according to Matthew. And I realized, can't be done. He's already done it. And Pasolini's film is just great poetry. And he actually, in that film, because of the style, and the style was the style of the late 50s, early 60s of the new cinema, the new French New Wave, the Italian New Wave, the British New Wave, but primarily cinema verite. He made you feel as if you were there. And he gave us an immediacy of Jesus, and also a Jesus that was not a movie star. Now, God bless the movie stars who tried to play it. It was a very hard role for Jeffrey Hunter and others who were trying to play that. But when you saw this face that you'd never seen before, and all the other faces of the people, and Matera, the town of Matera. And then, of course, the way he portrayed Jesus, all within the Gospel of Matthew, the anger, the strength, the beauty, and the music. The music, and Misa Luba, and even Leadbelly, and of course, Bach. And so this was a great work of art, I thought. And I said, if I ever had to make a film on Jesus, I have to find another way to approach this extraordinary situation. There was no way. So for years, I had been intending then to make a film on the life of Christ.
What do you mean by immediacy of Christ?
Well, in the case of, if you want to look at film, Pasolini's Christ is the guy. It's not somebody who walks in the room and glows. Mm-hmm. He's there. He's in the corner.
He's there,
and he comes over here, and we're all together. It's the one. It's sometimes the one who's in the corner you don't see. The first is last, the last is first, and so that's fascinating to me. The other films that had been made up to that time were at times pageantries and very, very, very piously made, which was good. I mean, you could see it in some of the great paintings, some of the great Michelangelo. They do have halos, But what Pasolini was able to do was to make the Jesus figure and the others around him somebody you would know. somebody you could speak with, you know. This I think is really key. The immediacy of Jesus for me, though, is in your own life, is the people around you, the tests that you have in your own life, and I think, you know, the help of Jesus to get past yourself to deal with others.